chat.
Chitting the chat.
Testing the audio, testing the peaks.
Testing.
Yeah. There they are.
Whoa. Look at his outfit.
Yeah. It's good.
How you doing?
Very good. How about yourself?
We've been practicing here for about a year, and there's like not too many other places to practice, you know what I mean, out in Reno. When I first moved here, Matt and I were from San Jose, so it's like, we were like, there's so many places to practice in California, but when we came here, we're like, fuck, where do we practice, you know? And so we would like ask people if we could practice like a day before the show. When me and Matt first started the band, before everyone else was in it, there was never practice.
We never practiced.
Never. There was never practice. It was just like, let's hope that this fucking goes well, you know what I mean? And shit, so, yeah, but now we have this spot. Yeah, there's about like 4 or 5 people at this show, you know what I mean? Like, obviously they loved us the most, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, you know, it's like fucking like.
What was the first thing you guys added to this room once you got in here? Like the first addition that made it more homey? The couches? No? The poster?
No. Paint on the walls.
Oh!
Yeah.
Wow.
This room was black.
Yes.
It was like a death metal room. Yeah.
So we ended up doing the paint on the walls with the intention that we slowly even do in general, but we wanted like green screen things all the time whenever we had the opportunity to.
Now it just looks really scary.
Yeah, now it's like very like baby puke.
Yeah.
Style.
And now it looks like your childhood, like your pediatrician's room.
We really make it feel like the waiting room of the doc's office.
Sounds like toys with the beads that go around.
Oh my god, dude, that's fucking me, dude. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure those things got me sick every time.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sick and you got more sick from the beads. Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. Right here. This is the working
Follow.
board for the album. You know, we're planning to release hopefully at the end of May-ish, you know, but 13 tracks. Yeah, we're like in and out of the studio in Sacramento. Shout out Mental Records. It starts as a working board and then becomes just the same thing, and you don't know where you're at with anything.
Just the names of all the songs. And you're like,
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It'll be like, oh, that one song, and then I'll change the name of it, and then yeah, everyone's like, wait, is that a new one? It's like, no, it's the same one. But yeah, the site's supposed to be our set list, tracks to do. And honestly, I don't even know what this site is. That's what it turns into. It just like is like, what even was this? You know what I mean? Like, we're about more than halfway done with the album. So again, shout out to Mental Records.
Are you like almost done, or is it like your favorite one?
I don't even fucking know. What did the stars mean?
Those were the ones that we were
It's
gonna record drums.
No, it's like, these are the ones we're going to focus on next week. So look at this and realize these are the ones, like, when we come back next week.
Okay.
It's like a
Okay.
daily
Yeah.
adjustment.
We do have this is the workstation desk right here. It's really messy, but at the very least. Oh wait, does it even? Okay, never mind.
What about the plastic bit? Oh, the plastic bit's on the ground.
Yeah, where's? Okay, yeah. It should be a triangle, but it's not a triangle. But that's why it's posting here. Yeah, this is the workstation. There's not much going on here except for a laptop and a bunch of random assortments and everything. Oh, here we go.
Painting's cool.
There we go. Yeah. So yeah, and the painting that was shout out to what was the who did that? Shout out to
David from
Shout out to David.
Crafted Palette.
Okay.
He teaches classes, and that was one of his paintings.
But we do have like some things like this where we like conduct some art projects that hopefully will turn into like games that we play in front of everyone, you know, and stuff.
You guys did Limbo at a show once, right?
Mhm.
You gave
Here's
out
the stick.
like stuff in the
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So this thing was extremely like covered 100% in gems, but you know, through the tour and just in general, like the sweat from everyone, you know, it's like everything's falling off and stuff, but yeah.
They're all over my car.
It needs a shower. It needs a shower, yeah, for sure. But yeah, we're like always working on different ways that we can craft like some sort of interactiveness with the audience. This will be a throw the ball in the hole and you win a shirt, you know. So yeah, some difficulty to it. You know, we'll see where your accuracy is at. Yeah, but yeah, you know, and weirdly enough, the studio gave us what I assume is just like a consumer style trash bin that you'd find at Wendy's or any fast food restaurant. And you can just, you know, done with this, you know what I mean? We're like, what's next? Oh, don't need this anymore. Trash, you know? So,
It even came with trash.
exactly. We love having it because throw away things and it doesn't look like a trash can, you know?
Yeah.
Slight issue is because it doesn't look like a trash can, you forget to take the trash out until it starts smelling. Yeah, and that's about the whole studio, you know? We have our back screen over here as well. We use this for photo shoots, just to keep the vibe going, you know, turn the lights off and everything and have a good time. Yeah, and 3 couches, yeah, and chairs. We do have the typewriter. We write all the lyrics on here.
Actually?
Yes, solidified. It's a one-time go, so whatever is there is what we sing or talk about. I write a lot of them, but Matt writes a lot too as well. It might not seem like this, but for us, a lot of bands might not be this way, but for us, it really is very eclectic. Things will happen and everyone has like an input, whether it's like 5% or 30%, it doesn't really like matter too much, right? Yeah. Like we all kind of like, oh, I'm like, you know, Noah will be like, oh, do it like this instead. And then we'll just do it, you know? There's no hierarchy really. Yeah. Everything's open. Yeah. To whatever, you know? So yeah. From the lyrics to the music itself, we kind of all just participate wherever we want to. And I think that's what makes it really fun, because if you're like, all right, this song's cool, but I have nothing to give to it, none of us care. You know, it's like, okay, fine, then we're not gonna give any rise to anything, you know? If everyone has something to say, then somehow, I don't even know how it happens, but somehow it all kind of ends up happening together, you know?
Right.
If every single person has some input, then it still happens. So I think we're very like fluid with each other. It's like the coolest part about it, you know?
We all have very
like
music backgrounds too, I would say.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Yeah, because the backgrounds come from so many different areas, everyone finds it very interesting to hear what, oh, Matt, you know, his perception is this, you know, or Noah's perception is this. And because it's so different, it feels like if I take that perception on, then I'm growing, you know, because I'm like doing something I've never done before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, me, I don't have any music experience unfortunately. So I'll just hear something in my head and ask them, does this make sense? Can you try this? And then they try it. If it works, we might keep it. But it also, I think being able to be open about just bringing up random ideas you have lets everyone else know that like nothing's permanent. We can change whatever we think feels better about this song.
We've got to know each other, like, and how, at first, playing with these guys, like, you have an idea or something and be like, play it more like this. And it's like, I don't understand like what you're saying at all. But like, we've played with each other, like, kind of in that free-form way enough that it's like, you know, oh, do it more like this, or this style, or whatever, and you kind of, like, become very organic with, I know what that means, and like I can do it, you know, immediately now. When Robbie says whatever insane thing, do it more like this.
Honey plant language, like honey plant language, you know?
We'll be like, oh, I heard this cool thing in this reggae song, let's put it in this funk song.
Right.
See if it works.
A good example would be like, okay, make it sound like underwater. And then it's like, okay, well, all right, you know, systematically, I'm not sure how I'm going to go about doing that, but okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, wall of sound or like whatever, you know.
Like,
and it's like,
rolling around with the pedals.
Yeah. So very much like a lot of times when we're writing, it's you have that someone's being the conductor and someone else just has to listen to the whole vibe of what the conductor's saying. And because a lot of times doing it through a very artistic point of view, it just took time, but we kind of all understand, the semantics of each person individually. And I think a lot of it really popped off for us after we toured last year and everything. Like, really, okay, I understand how this person is. I understand how he's thinking. You know what I mean? The space has been a big help for us to be communal with each other. And then I don't even think we would have started writing an album if we didn't have like the space. Right? Yeah, like I think it would have been really hard, Yeah. Yeah, we were in between his place and his place at the time, just kind of going back and forth. And then finally, once we had this spot, we could tackle 13-song album, which has been a lot for us. But yeah.
How long have you guys been working on it? Like in total, do you think? Like months?
We started in July.
Yeah.
So, and we started the first 6 songs we started recording in maybe October.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
October.
Yeah, so it's been a really long process. I mean, the thing is every single person in the band he isn't just playing, Noah just isn't doing the saxophone. He's coming in and telling me Rob, no, that's wrong with the keys, do it more like this. And it's like, oh, okay. And so then he's hopping on the keys and writing that part. So as much as we play on stage and it's very solidified what's going on behind the scenes, everyone kind of has a go at all the instruments, which I really enjoy. I enjoy the multi-instrumental aspect of everyone in here. Even Matt, who doesn't play any melodic instrument, but knows exactly what he wants out of it. And that's been so cool because I myself don't sit here with a solidified decision. If someone even mentions something, I'm willing to break the whole thing to be like, okay, cool, let's do that. Let's try that.
It's also kind of one of the limitations of our band is people, and sometimes we'll write music for 7 people.
Yeah.
So part of the multi-instrumentalist thing is just well, you're playing keys on this song because you have to play keys.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 keys parts, and we don't want to just do it with the backing track. We
Yeah.
want to have some sort of because we play with analog synthesizers, so a large part of our sound is the fact that it's dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of our songs change over time.
Yes, it is true. There's a lot of times we'll be like, oh, wouldn't it be sick if we did this? And it's sure, but there is just 4 of us.
That is the great.
Yeah, a lot of times we bite off more than we can chew.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But we find ways of doing it, live, for instance. Switching between instruments, right? And
switching between the flute and the saxophone.
And originally it was
Switching
keys, flute, and sax.
in the last show, actually, there's one song where Noah switches between flute and sax, and I switch between guitar and keys.
Yeah.
But there's one part that I totally forgot about when we set up the stage. Is I also have a backup lyric.
Mm-hmm.
So Noah's at the mic next to me,
Yeah.
switching from flute, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh shit, the lyrics coming up, and I bump him out of the way.
Well, so because for the flute, in order to mic the flute, you have to have a mic that's kind of front facing, right? But the sax mic is mic'd down where the bell is. And I just was running across stage with this 2. It's essentially a 2-beat interval where I have to switch from sax to flute, take my sax up off the ground, and start playing the ending lick. But there's some funny experiences where it's just we're very unpolished,
Yeah.
very very scuffed a lot of the times.
Yeah.
But it's I think it's part of the fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dodging Robbie's bass neck too. If you're on that side behind Robbie and he's swinging around, so you're like, wow, you're gonna
Yeah.
like dip out of the way.
Yeah.
We were thinking about like doing like a skit or something, yeah, where you have a bunch of like clips of like dodging Robbie's
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I love it though because there's never, you know, even with Matt, like we have like some electronic setups for him as well. And at the end of the day, no, I mean, I remember even when I approached Noah and I was like, yo, there's a lot of keys on this new album. Do you think you can be down to do it? He was like, sure. And it's really cool to know that everyone is willing to participate in a way where this isn't my forte, but whatever, you know what I mean? I'm down. And it's been a long time for me to be around musicians who have that kind of confidence where it's just like, you know, I remember when he brought the flute, you know, even for Noah was like, at first he was like, okay, I'm gonna have to like practice this a little bit more, but he wasn't at any point saying like, no, I'm not gonna do it, you know? So I think also the lore a little bit too, it's just, I don't know, we just keep adding things on, and I'm sure eventually there'll be a breaking point where it's like, all right, we need like a fifth member now. I mean, we kind of already feel like that,
Yeah.
but
I mean, I prefer nothing else.
yeah. So if anyone does keys, you know what I mean? But you know, but like, yeah, like, I mean, there's even moments where it'd be cool, like for certain songs we have where it's like, oh, if it was Noah and then a trumpet player, and you know, so ultimately give us more money so that we can like have like a larger like we can pay more like artists and everything.
No, vision.
You guys describe your music as funk. So like, what does funk mean to you, or like, what does it mean for people that don't know? Like, what is funk? Like that genre.
Funk is groove, and then instead of like any standard approach to music, like this needs to have this certain timbre or whatever, you can just bring whatever sound you want into the groove and just dance. It works. Like to me, funk has a lot less confinements over the genre. Way more exploration.
Yeah, we didn't really, you know, the last show we played, they said, oh my god, we've never had like kind of a funky band like play, and you know, usually it's tied into like boomers or like just, you know, it's tied into an era, which is fine, but that already puts like a box around it. And I think a lot of people see us play and then they see kind of the contemporary part of it and they think like, oh, okay, like Matt said, it's grooving the whole time, but I can't really say, I mean, obviously I can't, they're not James Brown.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You could say anyone like I play funky music and they can either picture James Brown or Earth, Wind and Fire or Funkadelic, which have like way different feels and approaches to funky music.
I think like at least, you know, from my perspective, like a little bit more like music theory oriented. It's like most of our songs are one or two chords, right? And the same kind of goes for funk, where it's like very, very just like jam oriented. And you know, I think our music is like pretty loosely defined, but just I would say it's like dance music.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's music to dance to or to be played in front of people. It's not necessarily music that's like, I would say is, you know, you're only listening to it on your headphones, you're not going to a live show.
Mm-hmm.
But like our music is entirely based around the performance that we're giving, which is typically, you know, to get people to dance.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think like a lot of those things resonate with me. Where I feel like funk is groove, but traditionally it strays a lot and will get very dissonant. Be like on the one, but in between there's a lot of like dissonance or suspense, but then it comes back around always to the groove. And I feel like we have a thing where we're straying from the groove like stylistically in a way. And sometimes we'll have, you know, it's a funk groove, but you almost have like a prog rock element on top of it or something in a lot of cases. Which I think kind of sets us apart from like what funk really is traditionally.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, a lot of like places that we end up playing, we kind of have to, it's like they feel from us the dancey grooves, but you know, since it's so hard to put ourselves in a box, when we do define genres, I even know off the bat, like half the people we define the genre to, and then they hear it, their idea of the genre is completely different than what we actually end up playing.
Yeah.
But I think they like that. I think they're like, oh, they see themselves as this, but my perception of this is more this era or whatever. So I like it because it feels like we're rejuvenating a certain ideology, and we're just bringing contemporariness to it, like the whole thing, you know. And I really like that, and I think a lot of people get shocked too. Like I said, the last show we played, they're like, oh, we've only had like, you know, like Midwestern emo bands play here, punk bands play here, hardcore bands play here, and I don't really have any like more groovy bands play here because I feel like that's a different crowd. But you all brought in essentially like the scene and everything, enjoying it as well. And it's like, yeah, that's, you know, part of our aesthetic too, is it's not always going to be the everyday conceptualization that you thought, you know. It's going to be like, oh wow, they are mixing things together. So I mean, I absolutely love that. Like, that's like the greatest compliment we get. I think we played a Battle of the Bands in Yerington, and the bands would come out and be like, I mean, y'all are just, it's hard to define exactly what it is. I feel what it is, but I love the individuality of it. And we're like, yeah, thanks. That's like exactly what we really want.
Yeah.
Is to feel individual.
You get people who like come up and they're trying to say like, oh, you sound like this band or whatever, and it's always like some genreless. What? Like,
Yeah.
like somebody is like, you guys remind me of Talking Heads.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
never would have
Yeah.
thought.
It's
but
always
okay.
somebody different.
Yes.
It's
Always
like
someone
never repeat.
Yes. I got, like, the last show I got, they're like, oh, you remind me of George Michael's. And I was like, okay, like, you know, is it or is it like, you know, is it actually the performance? But, you know, I mean, whatever it is, it's like, I love it, you know?
Yeah.
We all love it. And so, yeah.
Yeah, and I also think, like, I've always had this opinion of our band that like we warm up the crowds very well, and I think we're like an amazing opener band because every single time, like, the compliment we get, like when we're opening for somebody, it's like,
Yeah.
got the crowd warmed up. Like,
Every single time a band follows us, they thank us.
yeah.
The shoulders always go from this to like,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we watch it happen live on the spot and everything, and yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, we really help try to define the mood. So like, okay, let's just, you know, let's let loose. You know, I think like a big thing for us is like letting everyone else know that in this moment right now is the defining moment of why you went to a show, which is to escape reality. And I want to contribute to escape reality because shit's so fucked up now. So
Yeah,
it's
just leave your masks at the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And you know that feeling too. Everyone knows it's like everyone who's creative in the room, it's when you get out of any situation that you were able to be creative or express yourself, always the very next day, you feel as if new life has been breathed into you. And I think that's so important to just keep going. If it's too mundane all the time, then you just get stuck. And yeah, it's, you know, it's like taking a drug of some sort, but you're just at a show. And then the next day you get to reset your life.
I don't think we take ourselves too seriously on the stage, too.
No.
You know, it's a pretty loose, relaxed environment, which I think definitely helps with the crowd. Because we're like, oh yeah, these guys are
Yeah.
We're so good for that. No one's actually been criticized for not being good people.
That's true. That's true. And I'm like, I'm trying to play. I can't like move around.
But no, yeah, and then
Changes-
Noah's like,
changes my sound.
Noah's like, he's like, yeah, as a sax player, he's like, you know, and Noah plays so many parts from keys to sax, and he's like constantly playing the whole time that I've never heard him not say like, oh, I broke a reed.
Yeah.
I broke a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Like, I remember on tour when he broke a mouthpiece, and it's just, it goes down the line of, you know, he's not always playing something that's just like syncopated and then rest. Syncopated rest. It's like, okay, no, you're gonna take a solo for like a minute and a half straight.
Yeah, or longer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's like, you know, by the end of the show, the thing is, it was so funny. I like, I don't know if you know guys know how saxes work, but like I bought a box of reeds, which is like the thing that makes the sound for tour. And I like for the entire week of tour, I was like, okay, this will probably be enough. And by the end of tour, I had gone through everything, and everything was broken. And I was playing on a broken reed for 2 shows. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ! Like I thought I would be fine, but it's like, I mean, essentially, like reeds, if you stress them too much, they kind of die as well. So yeah, I just know that's like a mark of a show is like I better get a new reed because by the time I break it in, it's gonna be like 2 songs in, which is abnormal, and then it's gonna break by the end of show, which is also abnormal.
But he's literally like essentially singing the whole entire time.
Yeah.
So it's great, you know. Everything's been really up and up, you know. I feel like, and the good reactions from everyone, and very much we are defining our thumbprint, you know, around Reno and like the rest of the West Coast.
Well, and like you guys, not only as a band like warming up the crowd, but like of the other bands, because when we played with you the one time when Bender Roll was still around, I was so nervous, and you guys just pulled out a hacky sack. I started playing hacky sack, and it like calmed me down so much. Like, so like you guys are just great in general. So do you guys always play hacky sack before shows? Do you have another pre-show ritual
we
you
did
do?
it for
That was a tour thing, for sure, where that was essentially like we had no forms of recreation on the tour because we were always driving or sleeping or like cooking, you know.
Oh my god.
So hacky sack was like our only form of downtime. It was really nice, you know, like before a gig and like you had 30 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And you have like 4 hours. Like you'd be like, you know, play the show, or you have to be at the show at 4 o'clock. And some days we only had like, you know, 2-hour drive or something. So we'd get to where we need to be by like 10 a.m. and then you can't leave the van with all the gear in it. Yeah. So we just like end up in a park, like having a picnic, playing hacky sack for like 6 hours.
Yeah. Just
It's
like
also
taking
like-
naps and stuff.
I figured it's the least risky like group activity you could do.
It's pretty disarming. You know?
And yeah, I mean, like, for us, you know, like you said, like, oh, I was like nervous, and then like I said, a lot of times for us too, the interaction that we have with everyone outside the band is really important for us. And I've noticed that, especially with all of you and everything, that, you know, we're here to like disarm the situation or whatever. Like we want to bridge gaps, you know, and I think that's difficult for a lot of people, but when we're all together, bringing you all into like, you know, a little fun thing like that it's not difficult, and we feel as if that is the connection that we all kind of need to then, okay, cool, like, you know, let's talk about something or whatever, you know. But yeah, I think a lot of what we do as a collective too is used to like bridge others to be a part of what we're doing too as well. Like, I don't want separation, you know. It's like
Personally, I don't think I put like the music up on some holy grail. It's more like what happens that night, where people engage, where people lose, or was it like this awkward? Kind of, because I feel like a lot of people are comfortable with the awkward if they play perfectly. It's like, well, nobody can say anything. Play perfectly, but if I play perfectly and nobody moves, then I'm not playing perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we have a different. We define it differently.
Focus on the moment versus the art, I guess.
If you want to hear the polished whatever version of Honey Plant, just wait for the album and then and then like, you know what I mean, then you're like, my, they're actually good. Like, like so yeah, like I think for us, synergizing is honestly the biggest thing that we try to get across. And at the end of the day, I think that's what people leave the show and they say, wow, Honey Plant made me feel like this. And you know, we don't even, it's not even like we're using it as, oh, we're trying to top people by doing this, but it's just, this is just our approach, our language.
What were some fun touring stories, or what was that like in general? Was that your first tour or second?
It was our first tour all together, outside of like Weekend Warrior stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I like cooking. We try not to get many hotels. or go to restaurants. So we would go to a grocery store and Sam had this little grill. We'd find a park somewhere and go with breakfast for each other.
Yeah. Fun bell peppers and hummus.
Yeah, that's nice.
Lots of snacks.
Yeah. More than half the places we played, we had someone to host us to spend the night, which was really cool. Like, it just helps define the culture of art itself and the community. Because I think it's like nerve-wracking when you leave on tour and you don't necessarily know how much money you're gonna spend or where you're gonna spend the night. And I think we got a hotel once, and then everyone else was just, you know, for the rest of the 9 days, everyone else just.
My personal favorite moment was we somehow accidentally got booked to a punk festival instead of a funk festival. So we were the only funky band there, and there was this guy during our set that was standing in the crowd, and just like that the whole time. And I was like thinking to myself, like, what's more punk than not conforming? You know what I mean? Like, he should be applauding this.
Yeah, and plus we were the last band to play.
Yeah, we were the
Literally at like 1 a.m. at a festival, like, you know.
our last show
last
of the
gig,
entire tour
Yeah.
It was
was a classic like moment for us where we're, you know, just in a random venue where
Yeah, is this
guaranteed nobody knows us.
yeah, is this gonna be like? Is it gonna be Green Room?
Oh my god, yeah. And then, you know, even
They're
though
gonna
I
get
will
us
never
that
forget Noah made the comment, I was so tired at that point, and actually I did want to go home, that Noah was like, dude, you're gonna wear Crocs on stage? And I was like, yeah, I don't really care right now. And he was like, dude, that is hilarious. And so, yeah, I mean, and then, yeah, outside of that, just all the friends we had who, you know, it's so crazy because you go on tour and I'll hit up people that I haven't talked to in years. Can I spend the night? Yeah, come on, spend the night. You know, and it's just, I feel like in any other situation, I don't know, maybe they ghost me or like, you know, or maybe,
It's our age.
you know, yeah, they just kind of.
People our age. I don't know if this resonates with a lot of you, but they've been at their job for 8 or 9 years by this point. So when I see people in their 30s doing what they want to do, they are more open to be like, that's sick, yeah, you can stay here. Like, I'd love my life to be a little more interesting.
No, yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, and and you know, because, you know, that was one of our biggest worries. It's like, oh my god, how do we not spend hella money, dude? And just like, you know, and then on top of that, we play shows and, you know, we'd have people say, you want to spend the night at my place?
Yeah.
And like people don't even know, and we're like, okay, maybe, like, you know, like hopefully nothing crazy happens, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, they're like, I have drugs and condoms.
yeah, it's like, huh, like, what are we going on? So that happened a lot too, and I think it's interesting because like we're here in Reno, but once we start expanding out, then we start feeling those vibes too of, man, art's such a huge connector for like love and communication that we ended up being like touching people in that way where, yeah, let me invite strangers into my house. And honestly, I feel like in today's market, that is so hard to make happen. Like to just invite strangers into your place, you know? Even myself, like I have a hard time doing that sometimes, but yeah, I didn't think that was gonna happen basically. I didn't think that someone in the audience would have been like, why are you spending like, you know, would you want us? And it's like, yeah, just come crash at my place, you know, like, okay, like, you know, we had a mom and dad say that to us. Yeah, I have kids at home and this and that, but just come crash with us. Yeah, it's like, wow, okay. You know, I thought I was gonna be like getting asked by, you know, some
Like a random college.
yeah, like a scene kid whose name's Skunk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who's been in the scene for like the last 10 years.
It's
You know what I
not in his
mean?
house, it's where he's squatting.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, but a lot of fun.
I kind of want to go back to like how you guys were talking about how all your music is so different, like there's so many different sounds integrated into it. How does that translate into like your visual aesthetic and even like designing your album?
Well, one, because there's so much uniqueness between each person, it allows us to sit in the room and kind of be like, okay, Noah, how do you want us to look? Matt, how do you want us to look? Sam, how do you want us to look? And then it hodgepodges them together into one design. I think, you know, it'd be like, oh, you know, let's all define ourselves by usually wearing the same thing like on stage. And then, you know, someone might give an idea of something and then someone else capitalizes on that. We like scaffold a lot of times. And that really helps out with the aesthetic, which then, even with the music, you know, it helps it take turns. And I think honestly, what we really do enjoy with all of that is, you know, you're driving along and then it's like, take a right here, and you have to like swing real quickly. We all kind of like get enthralled by that, where it's like, okay, make me do something wild that I didn't think I was gonna do. I think ultimately because we do that with each other, we feel like we can help the audience do that.
Yeah.
You know, like swing their emotion or their perspective in a way that they haven't done before. So I think
having a costume like that we're all wearing together, it kind of like almost sets the stage in a way. Like when you show up and you set up and you're like setting up your stuff and you're all wearing the costume, it already like presents this vibe to everyone that's there. Like they know that you're the band, and we kind of like get to be even goofier and more out of character because we have each other doing it as well.
Yeah.
And it just kind of it sets us up in a way of just like this bigger presence than just when we're on stage as well, which is really kind of fun and like thrilling.
There's a vibe. I think our vibe's also somewhat economic status. Like I would see bands and they all have matching outfits. I would just think like, I like that. But then I don't have like thousands of dollars to spend on an outfit. So like a lot of our approach is really campy, which I think also loosens people up.
Yeah.
We're not too serious.
Like we have a fucking pool noodle instead of
Yeah, like,
and it's like it's damaged.
Yeah.
It's very damaged, but like also I feel like getting rid of it or something.
It's
It'd be like a betrayal of our identity.
Yeah.
We tried to get like a
Yes.
nice limbo stick
And
too. And we
Fate,
got
and
like
Fate did not agree.
the LED like light stick,
Yeah.
and I don't know, it was like like $100 or something.
Yeah,
It was, like, pretty
yeah.
expensive, and this was like for tour, and we lost it like 3 days in, and
Yeah.
we were just like, no, like you got, you know,
Yeah.
And then we brought
Never
out
again.
the
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna bring the noodle back out, you
we were
know?
like sticking the things
Yeah.
on the pool
Yeah.
noodle, like the next day.
Yeah,
and then we haven't tried to get it like a nice
No.
new one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not,
And
it's
we
just
haven't
not worth
lost
it.
that, you know? It's still
yeah, no one cares. Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of, that's, you know, we're very much build on top of each other the whole time. And honestly, I still think too, to this day, that like no one's really the face of anything that is artistic. You know, it's very much, again, like something might be put onto the map, and then, you know, if Noah's like, I don't like that at all, it's like, okay, let's erase it then. You know, and like we'll do
It's kind of ADHD. It's like,
yes,
Yeah.
neurodivergent.
yeah, it's like I like this song, but I don't like the style. But I'll take that thing that I like out of it. It's the same with like putting on the live show. It's like I like that concept, but I don't like the way they did it. I want to own it my own way,
Mhm.
and it just builds off of that.
Yeah, I mean a lot of our aesthetic songs and everything go through like revisions, and by revisions I mean it's like he's a moment, like
Yeah,
it completely
we'll be in the middle of
changes.
practicing.
Yes.
And I'll just be like, so this feel right.
Yeah, like we've had songs that like are almost unrecognizable
Yes.
in comparison to the original thing.
Yeah.
But I think that helps because like it's like all of us find new ways of like making the performance interesting.
Yeah.
Keeping it.
Even after it's like recorded, we'll be like, all right, go ahead, listen to the record, but it's not the same as when we play live. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it gets yeah, and yeah, very good ADHD,
It's
neurodivergent. Yeah.
It's an ADHD
Yeah.
approach too.
We've gotten better at like complementing the ADHD aspect though. Like I feel like older stuff, you know, it's like that's a hook, and then it's just like, okay, the whole song is like that one hook or whatever. But now we're kind of figuring out like, okay, somebody has an idea and then it like turns into a hook, and then we're starting to understand like how to write the next instrument part that complements the hook, but is not like overpowering it. And then it like really fills out the song and like allows the song to kind of evolve. And we've over the last like working on the album, and like each song over time, even at the point where we're like, okay, we're gonna record it, every time we play it, it like continues to evolve, which is super exciting creatively. Like,
a lot of artists are like, you gotta play this every time. I just don't think our brains work like that. Like if a mistake happens and it sounds cool, it's like, that's the new way it should happen. And another mistake happens and it's cool, we're like, that's actually the way it should happen. Nothing's ever like, everything's subject to change.
you get to a point too with the songs where it's like you've played it every possible different way, but you're still like inside the groove. And I think that's one of the things that helps with playing live too, is you get to a point where you've played the song so much, it's like you're doing it like almost muscle memory, but it also doesn't matter because you know like everything around it that's gonna fall in place, and it's always like the nuances of it are different. But the groove is the same, which I think is one of those things, like going back to like what funk music is. It's like allows for that because it's so, there's like this established groove that you're in.
You'll see.
Another part of the funk approach is like, I don't want any piece of the music to be so serious that people stop to be like, wow, like that solo or like that thing. I want that to be like very inconsequential. Like if people are stopping to watch what we're doing, we're failing. Like you're supposed to be basically ignoring us and having a dance party on the
When the album comes out, you'll see like it's just very like, it's all over the. This is a beat right now. No, I'm just kidding. You'll see it's very different. I mean, once the album comes out, y'all will see like from the top to the bottom, it's a theater play. You know, every emotion that you can think of. I really think so. Yeah, you know, and
it's like
we have music that is so. We have some songs that are so serious, and then we have some songs that aren't serious at all, but through the whole thing, because we hit so many different avenues, it's life, you know what I mean?
I just think it's more sound spectrum. It's like when you watch a suspenseful movie, the music for the suspense isn't going like this will get them suspenseful. It's just like one note, and that will resonate with you. Like a single note can make you like really terrified or really sad. I think dance music should be the similar thing, where I don't think it should be so complex. Like I don't think tapping into people's spirit is like this brain surgery. I think it's more just being real, and people will resonate with that versus trying to impress them all the time.
You get into these like, when we're driving somewhere for 4 hours, 10 hours, we'll just go off in these like philosophical conversations in the car. Like, but that's one of my favorite things about tours, and just talking about music. Like, there was one point where I was just realizing, like, like music is just like a form of communication. It's like a non-verbal form of communication, and it is like the most like raw and effective way to like communicate feeling. And that's just like
it's like reading a book of poetry or reading like a science textbook.
Right.
Technically, one has more knowledge and information in it. It's almost impossible to read, you know?
And
whereas the poetry can evoke way more with way less. You know?
And if you're feeling it, like, regardless of what you're playing, it like goes through. Like, you don't have to even really know how to play an instrument to communicate feeling.
I kind of saw on your website that you had different names for yourselves, like Damn Sam, Matt the Brat, Noah the Ark, and then we got Robin Lowe. Are these like stage names, personas that you guys kind of like?
No, these are things that Robbie just gets up on stage and he just decides in that moment. These are your names.
I want to, you know, adhere to like the Dungeons and Dragons kind of like lifestyle, you know, like again, like I want to escape reality as much as possible, and these guys know that about me so much. You know what I mean? From everything that like outside of being the band that like I personally am into.
I did want to get there
Too.
though. Like war, basically.
Yeah, like
Each person is its own.
Yeah. Because there's always things in my mind where it's just, and they all like are down with it as much. That's why I announce people's like their names on stage and everything like that. And funny enough, like people will walk away from the show and they'll say some of like these names that I give out to the audience members. Yeah, literally as they're walking down, like Noah's even heard it too, like
Yeah, you can Nasty Noah.
We've changed Noah to Nasty Noah, but it really is just this idea of like playing into us as a group, but also to recognize the individuality of everyone, and whether or not they really know where those names came from. I want the audience to almost visualize the group, but then everyone as like some sort of superhero too, and I think it gives rise to the fact too that it's eclectic and it's not just one person. And so if everyone has an identity to them, like a Pokemon card or like a Digimon card or something, then it feels, I don't know, I want fantasy to be a part of people's life, and as much as I think people try to not have it be a part of their life, I think that's, come on, let's do a little bit more. So the names are just, let's make it more ethereal. Let's make everyone feel like they have their own thumbprint on it. And yeah, again, they can walk away and go like, oh my God, like Nasty Noah had like the sickest solo, like, or whatever, you know what I mean? Or like, oh man, Damn Sam really was cooking, like tonight and stuff like that. So,
What's the difference like for like the scene in California as opposed to Reno? Because it's really small here.
I think this problem with Reno is that, like in places like California, there's so much going on that you can take small steps. Whereas like in Reno, there's only so many steps you can take, and then the next step there is casinos, but that's like they're booking international touring artists and stuff. So the ceiling for local artists is really low, and the gap to try to jump into like the Reno mainstream is really high. Whereas like other places where the art scenes are more promoted, there's always an avenue or a next small step you can take on your way to your destination.
So why did you guys moved from California and came to Reno? Why did you want to move from California to Reno?
Well, he moved because of me.
I moved because of him, and he moved because of his fiance.
That and like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, like, the pandemic got super hectic in like California, and like, it was very much like, it was like New York style where it's like, you can't do anything, and I was living with relatives as well, and that also kind of just, it's like, so it was a difference of opinion too. Like I wanted to go
to school, right?
Yeah, but I wanted to, it was more like, I wanted to see people. I wanted to see my friends, and I was living with relatives in the sense of like, no, you know what I mean? Like, because COVID and everything, and I'm trying to respect people as much as I can, but I'm also trying to not go like crazy. I'm like such a product of my own environment that I need people. Like I'd be terrible on that show alone because like I need like someone around me, I need skin to skin, I need like some sort of connection. And Nevada was a little bit more loose, and yeah, my partner and everything, it was, her family was out here and everything, so it was easy to just like come out here and make it happen and stuff. It really could have been anywhere. Probably, honestly, it would have ended up being anywhere because it was just really hard to live with.
Yeah, at the time we were in another band.
Whatever. Yeah.
When we met in California, we were in this other project, and then Robbie made all those moves.
Mm-hmm. And we were also, it was kind of like, I think for a lot of us, I can't speak for everyone, but my God, like if you were involved in music at that time, you're like, what's gonna happen? You know, it's like you have no idea. Like I honestly thought that this could be it. You know what I mean? This could be life, you know? And I think that also kind of like made us a little more available to break down whatever lines we drew for each other, because I think everyone during the pandemic was like, so now what? You know, kind of like view, you know, like, so what's gonna be the next thing that I'm gonna do, you know? Yeah, and honestly, I mean, it's cool how it worked out, because I think like if it never happened like that, right? Like who knows? We might have still been in Cali and San Jose, you know, like maybe not, but it really broke the hump, you know, of just like, I guess I'll try something. And then meeting these two over like the course of like I think like a year and a half or something that we were out here, and then we finally met them, you know. We met Noah first.
Yeah, because at the time I wasn't really playing at all before, you know, joining with you guys. But I took a pretty long break from music. And COVID was kind of the end of that, like a 4-year break from playing anything. And me and Matt were working at this local restaurant, and Matt heard that I played sax. I don't know who told him, but like, at that time I wasn't playing like at all, right? I had like a pretty toxic relationship with music growing up, so I was like, and I was like, hey, do you want to play for the band? I'm like, sure. I was like, fuck it, okay.
Yeah. He worked a different shift than me. I never even met him, but like once or twice when I first got hired.
Yeah.
So I waited all day, and then he showed up, and I was like, play in our band. He literally said, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we like, and
Now he's like in school for sex again.
yeah, we didn't, and it was funny too, because at the time we didn't even have a studio, so then we had to shout out Abby West, you know what I mean? Like he let us just, you know, I don't even know if we might have been the only band that ever did this, but it was a recording studio and he had a live room, and we were just like, can we rehearse here instead of like record? And he's like, yeah, just, you know, shoot me a little bit here. And then that's where literally Noah, myself, and Matt at first were just rehearsing, like maybe one day before a show, you know?
Yeah.
and
then we were playing like shows every weekend for like
Oh
the
my God.
entire summer.
Yeah, and then Sam came up to us at
Yeah.
God, what was it called again?
Yeah.
R.I.P.
close.
R.I.P.
Yeah, we have their hat behind the.
Oh, is it really? Yeah.
There's a hat behind the.
Yeah, so we played a show, and certain songs we would have backing tracks of guitar, and
Yeah. I was there with my wife, and we were just like having drinks and stuff, and these guys were there like going all out with bubble guns and like jumpsuits and everything, and I was like, whoa, this is different, like this is cool. And I heard, and I was kind of looking like, there's only like 2 of them, and there's like all this sound, like they've got a backtrack, kind of listening to it, and then I heard like guitar in the backtrack, and actually my wife was like, you can totally play that. Yeah, I'd like to play that. This is super fun. And I think I just came up and said like exactly that to these guys, and like got Robin's number. And then like, I don't know, you hit me back up like a month later or something, and actually it was like pretty stressful for me, because I was kind of expecting like, I don't know, a chord chart or some direction on what we were playing maybe, and then I just got like a Google Drive of like demos of parts of songs. Basically I got the backtrack, and they were just like, you know, can you like learn the songs before the practice on Monday or whatever?
Yeah.
And
I was like, okay. I just, like, every day after work, just would grind on those songs to try to learn them all, like, completely by ear and, like, pick out all the different parts and everything. And, like, it was intense, but then, like, when we started playing, it was like, I had it so wrong. It was so chill. Yeah, so it was just, like, great.
It's like one of those things where we play together and we're all so relaxed with the whole situation that, you know, Sam could play something completely wrong the whole time and then hit one note that's like completely right, and it will steal my heart and make me be like, yes. And it's like, yeah, but I only did one thing right. It's like, that's enough. I don't give a shit about the rest of it. You know, the rest will come, you know what I mean? But it's like the innovativeness of, you know, if I gave you the entire chord chart for everything, then that's not you. I want to see you, you know? And I love that about people. I just want to see them do their thing. And so I do love preparation for certain things, but a lot of other things, when I first meet people, I just want it to be kind of like, I want you, you know? Like for me, it wasn't even about the guitar playing. It was, he came up to us and was like, how many people do that? You know, how many people raise their hand and say, pick me? You know what I mean? It's not a very common thing, and that to me is defining, you know, not, you know, I teach for a living, like I can, you know, like if a 7-year-old I could probably teach a 7-year-old like some honey pot plant licks and everything, but it's more, like same thing with Noah, when he came to play with us, I'm like, I just want more of that. I want more of, I don't know who you are, but let me give it a try. Doesn't matter. Conversation, playing, going on tour with each other, like just that to me is like the defining moment of like, cool, we're creating communities, and I don't really care outside of that. You know, now eventually, yeah, if it's like, you know, if they were like faking it in the sense that they didn't even play an instrument, then yeah, I guess maybe we'd have like a small little issue. But damn, I've been in bands too before where it's just like the drummer became the bass player and I just had to show him what to play and that was it, you know? So yeah, I was so blown away and taken back that Sam was like, literally after the show, like, let me play with you. That I told Matt later, I was like, look, here's the new deal. No more asking people to play with us unless they come up to us and say,
after Sam, we started asking, and since we started asking, we've gotten no less. I think that was the right.
Yeah.
We just do our best, put ourselves out there. And
they'll come. Yeah, they'll come.
My personal goal is to get some kind of following, that when we put something out there, people show up. But I also don't want just people to show up. Like, I really want to cultivate an audience that knows what to expect when they come to see our shows and gets involved with this show. Like, I don't even see the album as part of our artwork. That's more like what we show venues. Like, hey, here's our work, here's what you can expect when we show up and stuff. But I really want to just win audiences over. Like, we could sell a product online. It's like, I don't want to be a Temu. You know, I don't want people to see what we are online and then get to the show and we're not nearly whatever that is. Like, I want the shows themselves to be the main focus of our project.
Yeah. You know, goals right now, finish the album, use it as a tool to just help us get out there as much as possible.
And it's like a good memory. Like, people are like, oh, this show's so sick. I'm gonna listen to their music and remember how sick that fucking show was.
And just have our, you know, defining moments for ourselves. Like, I know for me, this will be the first like full length that I've ever even done in my career. And, you know, with that, things like, oh, we want to press it to vinyl. And, you know, just, we have our own little road marks of things that are cool for us individually, but ultimately as the band, just use it as a driving force for us getting out there and showing people what we can do live, because that's literally, like Matt said, at the end of the day, that when we walk away from all shows, you know, it's not tuning our own horn, but like, I just know for a fact that when we get done playing, if there's 5 bands that night, there's no way they're gonna not forget us.
Right, or if there's like
impossible.
5 melancholy people that walked in, they walked out.
Yeah, they might have been like, oh, you know, I love listening to like Single Ross or something like that, you know what I mean? And which is great, you know what I mean? But then they hear us and like, oh yeah, I also like that too, you know? I love that. I like that about us is because I think since the onstage presence is so unique, I really love when people leave and say, I forgot I like that kind of thing too in life. You know, I like being fun, or I like letting loose. And if they walk away feeling that, oh yeah, that's right, I don't always have to be this, then yes, there we are, we're here, and everything. Yeah.
I mean, that all sounds great. No, I think, I mean, I totally agree. Like, I mean, that's what it is for me, right? Like, it is my like outlet to let loose. Like, I don't really have a lot of other things in my life that like allow me to do that. And I think totally like, for me to feel that and like share that with people and say like, hey, you know, like, it is okay to let loose and have that outlet for myself, but also like give that to somebody as like a product in the form of a like show or live performance. Like, that's super special and like, you know, the thing that gets me most jazzed about like,
Yeah, you're only ever immortalized after you die. You don't even get to experience it, so why bother? Like, I want the time we have now to be the focus.
Yeah, they better make statues of us.
No,
I'm kidding.
Well, the opposite of that.
Yeah, well, yeah, our defining moments are in the moment.
Do you want us to hold it so you can all go and do it? Or?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, let me put this right. Okay.
How low are you?
Yeah, how really
I love
the lowest.
Yeah, maybe like right here. I won't know, so like the best
Everyone's
I watch
stretching all
like
your
when we do
hair.
the show sometimes I watch some of everyone like do the lens and I'm like, this is dude, because I'll see like some of the pictures you have. Oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah. You saw 6'3" ass now.